What's up, guys? Welcome to tonight's stream. They claim it's 68, but it feels like it's 86. Like plus 20. Like, it is hot, bro. I'm sitting here sweating. But anyways, stream must go on. Gonna be playing some WRECKFEST. Ooh, that's what I should have downloaded. I gotta see if I could download this map. While I'm... Hold on before I get into anything. Put that music on 20. Cause I'm not trying to get no copyright claims, so... Alright, post on that. Go to Twitter. I think I posted on Twitter. Yeah, I did. Alright, we chilling. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this stream. Okay, I'll actually hold on for a second. I gotta see if I can workshop. Most subscribe, Rainbow Road, subscribe. Okay, I download it. Hey, what's up, Fahim? Fahim plays. I gotta restart the game. I'm curious about this. I'm like, I got to see what Rainbow Road is like. Kind of cool. I played it a few times on Xbox. Yeah, WRECKFEST is a chill game. I'm playing this on PC, and I'm like, nah, I gotta see about this. I don't know if this is supposed to be doing this. So let's gonna just close this out, start it back up. Hopefully, it works. If not, then oh well. I should see if I could play this game with my steering wheel controller, but... Okay, I don't know how this... Alright. No, custom. Quickly, how long... Start the stream. I just started like 3 minutes ago. I just want to overall see if I can do it. Alright, let's see what Rainbow Road gonna be like in WRECKFEST. This is the Nintendo 64 version. I remember this version. This version was hard, and I did not like it growing up. Out here struggling left and right with Rainbow. I remember when they had Rainbow Road and whatchamacallit, the Wii. That was easy. That was chill. But Nintendo 64, I'm like, nah, fam. It even looked like it's gonna, dang. I shouldn't have done this. I'm already regretting it. By surprise today. I seen his name was trending, but I wasn't really paying attention. I think I chose the wrong car. Because all these cars are like, I think these are A-class cars. Yeah. Yeah, I think those are A-class cars. And what car do I got? A C-class, and ain't even meant for that. Thought he was going to leave Brooklyn and try to go to Lakers or another team, but he decided to stay with Brooklyn. I did see all that stuff where it was like people were talking on that there's like, I think I seen somebody was like, oh, like if he goes with Lakers, like he should do it for Kobe or some stuff like that. And I'm like, that would be chilled. I mean, but that's the thing though, where it's like you guys gonna sign, because that if that's the case, then everybody's gonna be going to the Lakers. I think whatever his choice and his decision is, like, not trying to disrespect Kobe, but I'm like, Kobe had made his own legacy. I think that's what other basketball players should do, is focus on their own legacy. Like, honestly, half of the day he was trending because reporters were saying he was going to force his way out, but he actually decided to stay and give it. It was probably just rumors. People just trying to start up stuff. Wreck somebody. And I'm like, he caught everybody by surprise. Thought he'd probably leave. I know the Lakers wasn't on the table. Yeah, because I remember when I think that's even more so reason why he ain't gonna sign, because I think he's still on that whole thing where he wants to be his own person. He doesn't want to be a part of anybody else's legacy, which I 100% understand. Like, you know, he wants to do his own thing, so it ain't really. I mean, it would have been surprising if he did sign to another team, but it ain't surprising that he stayed. Like I said, it was probably a rumor that got started, people thinking he was gonna leave. Saying these big names to the Lakers. Yeah, and it's like, it's always rumors. Like, until I hear it from that person, then I'm like, oh, okay, then they're going to the Lakers. But if it ain't TMZ or if it ain't the person themselves, then I'm not hearing it. I know. I was like, all them people I wrecked. People really be doing stuff like that. They be like out in the middle of like some southern area and they just be out there just hitting each other. Right here from the person, NBA players will have beef with each other for the media's sake. Say they are best friends still. Hear players' true feelings because the NBA big on bro code. That's why people is mad at Patrick Beverley. Yeah, because Patrick Beverley, he's one of those guys that just don't care, which is something that I have to respect about him. But at the same time, I do think that he tries a little too hard, you know, at what he's doing. So that's why I think like somebody like him, I think he's perfect for the things that he does. But at the same time, it's like, you know, what is it? What are you gaining from it at the end of the day? Started to be like that too. He was on his own podcast. Yeah, I think these guys have like a right to talk on what they want to talk on. If they're not cool with somebody, I'm not gonna lie to people and be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with that person, and we don't follow each other on social media, or you don't see us hanging out outside of or in the off season and all of that. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie to people and tell them I'm cool with them. So if I'm not cool with a person, I'm gonna say that. I don't care what the workplace is and stuff. So, and just anything else that I want to talk on. I feel like there's things that they try to hide, and they're like, oh, well, let's give these guys these fat $1 million contracts, because they know that they're not going to talk when they have things like that. Think about it. If you getting paid like $15-20 million and you be sitting on like the bench half of the season and stuff, like half the season you're playing, half the season you're sitting on the bench, and they're paying you $20 million. They probably got all these things tied up in those contracts where they're all like, okay, you could do this, this, and this. You can't do this, this, and this. I'm like, fam, for 15-20 million, I ain't saying nothing. But that's when it's like with other sports. I feel like with other sports, like football, for an example, look at the Colin Kaepernick situation. They probably wasn't paying him enough. That's why he was doing the things he was doing. He's like, I'm getting paid more doing outside projects. That man, he was getting paid under the table from Nike. What other things was going on? I feel like I messed up on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead leave that. Nike probably sent that man some fat contract. I can't even buy any of this stuff. Wow, that's crazy. All right. I'll just do a race. Kyrie getting his contract dropped from Nike too, I heard. Oh, really? Well, then again, I'm like, Kyrie don't really be selling out with his shoes. Like, there are some of his shoes that they're okay, but other than that, like, his shoes aren't like favorable shoes. They're not shoes. They're like, ooh, I gotta go out and get the new Kyries. Like, you never hear people say that. So he might want to. I don't know. I feel like more of his speed is like Adidas or Reebok. I feel like if he goes to one of those two brands, I feel like it'd be something. But definitely it can't be one of those like brands that's like nobody don't know about, but that you still see them in the NBA and stuff. Like, the player wasn't good to get signed to like Nike or Adidas or Reebok or any other brand. I don't know if it was like if it came down to it, I think I would rather just wear like a bunch of random shoes. Just do what PJ Tucker is doing. I just wear a bunch of random shoes, but I refuse to get signed to a brand that nobody don't know about. Dang. Say he felt the earth was flat. Everything he says gets held against him. I feel like that it's because he ain't doing so well with sales. Like compared to LeBron, I mean, like nobody don't really go out of their way I feel like to get LeBron's either. But if it came down to it, a toss up between LeBron's or Kyrie's, yeah, Kyrie is off the market. Kyrie got like 5 different shoes out there. Or he just got like a lot of different. He got like the one shoes, the freaking like the hybrid type shoes, and then his regular like line of shoes, and then some other ones. And I'm like, they don't sell. They're saying it's because surrounding his NBA career. Yeah, I'm like, it probably is because of the things on how he overall acts. It's like how he's been carrying on, past like few seasons. Like when he was on the Celtics, it seemed like he was fine. Was probably played his best when he was with Cleveland. But it's like now I just think that he's just on some weirdo stuff, and yeah, overall it's like it's not good. But I do feel like that his sales, like there's at times I've seen his shoes sitting on the shelves for a while. Shouldn't have left Cleveland, but I feel like he left Cleveland because media members were asking weird questions like, how's LeBron as a figure to your team and his own legacy? Oh yeah, it definitely had to do with like, you know, him like being behind the shadow of like other players. But it's like, well, fam, like if you're not doing anything out there, then that's how it's overall gonna be. You're gonna be behind that shadow. I don't think a lot of people realize that. It's like, you got to be out there doing things. And I think, like, overall, like, there's no problem with, you know, doing that. There's no problem overall with, like, wanting to be your own person. But I'm saying if they pay me the right type of money and things to keep my mouth shut or to not, you know, what are these cars doing? But yeah, overall, if they're like paying me the right money to just keep my mouth shut and, you know, just be behind the shadow, I'm like, all right, fine, sure. I'm like, I just better get my ESPN highlights and things, and that's it. My eyes don't ask my team. Yeah, I think like when they asked him that, but I'm pretty sure it has to be like a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't know about. But I do feel like, yeah, when somebody asked him, when that reporter had asked him that, it's like, you know, he's not a father figure. It's like, this man's like, what, a few years older than me. It's like, he's a leader. I'm like, I think that reporter should have worded it differently. But I think reporters out there just be trolling. They don't really be out there. Like, there's probably some reporters out there where they actually, you know, are doing things with their job, like, that's not gonna get them slapped. But yeah, I just think that there's reporters out there that be trolling. Look at the one reporter they called Steph Curry by his actual name, and they was like, so Wardell, how do you feel about tonight's game? And he's looking at them like, fam, you don't know me like that to be calling me by dude. Like, you call me Steph or Mr. Curry. Like, no, it ain't. Yeah, exactly. Some of them reporters is just, you know. And then I think I remember there was the one video with Russell Westbrook where a reporter was like really getting mad because of how he answered a question. And I think they were asking, this is, I think when Westbrook, when he was on OKC, but they asked that one guy, Steven Adams, like, oh, how do you feel about your teammate Westbrook, about his performance tonight? And Westbrook was all like, no, you don't ask him that type of question and things. And then when they was all like, he said, next question, then the reporter was all like, well, no, I was up here and I want him to answer my question. And I'm like, fam, it's things like that where it's like, bro, you're asking a 7-foot-tall man, like, oh, how do you feel about your teammates' performance? I'm like, some of them reporters, I'm like, I know you guys got like a security or something. Like, and then, like I said, then when the one that called Steph Curry by his action, I didn't even know his name was Wardell, but when I seen that was trending, I was like, what? What do you mean? This whole time his name ain't Steven? I'm like, wow. I thought this man was like Steven Jefferson Curry or something. Like, I thought Steven was his first name, and then they just called him Steph for short. This man's actual name is Wardell Stephen Curry. I'm like, wow. All right, I was misled. Definitely call out reporters for dumb questions. It's Steph named after his dad, Steven. Just that's what I was like. I was tripping off of that. I was like, wow. Because when he said Wardell, I'm like, who is Wardell? I'm like, where? I'm like, not even who, where? Where is Wardell? I'm like, this must be a new player or something. The whole time, that's his first name. I'm like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know that either until that reporter said it. I'm like, even if I'm like cool with a person, I still got that respect to not call them by like their actual name. If they prefer to go by a different name, I will respect that. And if I don't know a person but everybody calls them Steph, I'm calling them Steph or Mr. Curry, whatever. Like, or Curry. But yeah, I can't have like that boost of confidence and things to just disrespect somebody like that. I feel like that's disrespectful. I remember people would do that to me though, like haters. They'll call me by like my full government name. And I'm looking at them, I'm all like, okay, first off, don't ever be that weird to call me by my full government name because you're mad over some YouTube videos. I'm like, what you need to do is close up the computer and go outside. Like, just go out there and stay out there. Like, don't come back in the house until you actually know what it means to just be like a regular human being. Like, even if I see a teacher that I went to school with, I still call them by their last name. Asked Westbrook, did you guys lose this game? Or did another team win? A reporter really asked them that? That's what I'm like. I think I made a comedy skit about how stupid them questions be, but that's crazy. Sometimes those reporters, I ask them, I'm like, how does it feel that you got to travel all the way out here? You gotta pay money to travel out here to just ask me some dumb questions. I'm like, I start roasting like those reporters and probably would have like just had like overall a bad like just outlook when it comes to like me and reporters. But if a reporter would have asked me a question like that, I'm like, how does it feel knowing that you woke up this morning, you had to be on time to go and show up to your job, right? You had to be on time, and then you have to travel all the way out your distance, okay? And then wait in line, wait until the end of the game, all of this other extra crap, and then you had to come here and ask me that dumb question. I'm like, you would think you would have common sense to ask me just a normal, regular question and stuff. Like, what's the plan for the next game? You know, what was the game plan tonight? Like, just overall some questions where it's like, how would you feel if I asked you a question like that? I'm like, this ain't one of those, like, iPhone quiz questions and things that people was playing back, like, 10 years ago. That's the real thing behind... Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, because I remember, I think that was one of the first few times I seen Westbrook, but yeah, I'm like, I started roasting those reporters. I'm like, you sit down and think about that one, and then when you come up with an answer, then overall, you know, then we can like come to either an agreement or a disagreement on whatever your answer is gonna be. But I'm like, if they really wanted me to, they should, honestly though, an NBA team should hire me, like, you know, when they gotta like deal with dumb questions. I'm like, you just have me go out there, I'll answer them questions. Reporter go up there and be all like, oh, so did you guys lose tonight's game? I'm like, well, were we all watching the same game? I'm like, that's what these teammates up here want you know, a question to you, answering your question with the question. I'm like, did you watch tonight's game? I'm like, if you seen the scoreboard and you overall know what had happened, then there you go. That should answer your question. I'm like, next. Or the time, dude, that's LeBron. What? JR's thinking, dribbling, and clock. Not mind reader. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Y'all lose, they score it. That's it. Yeah, I'm saying, like, they'll ask, like, questions like that. I'm like, so, what was your guys' reaction to when you lost? I'm like, well, what's your react? Well, I'm like, that's why I probably, because if I had known who that reporter was, I'm like, well, what was your reaction when your wife left you 2-3 years ago? I'm like, is it 2.5 years ago, right? Her name was Margaret. She left you because you wanted to be a reporter. It's like, you didn't want to actually play basketball. You wanted to report news about the basketball players. They've been all like, basketball player Tyler TMossBoss, you know, or just overall TMossBoss, he was fined $5,000 for bringing up a reporter's personal life. I'm like, oh, well, y'all gonna have to be finding me $5,000 every time when I go out there and they ask me some old dumb question, because you best believe I'm gonna go out there and roast them and start saying some stuff. It'd been like a female reporter, and she was all like, how does it feel to be ranked as one of the worst basketball players of all time? I was like, and how does it feel to look like a mixture between Harriet Tubman and Sloth from the Goonies? They're like, oh, TMossBoss was fined another $5,000 for, in his words, roasting a reporter. Just troll people. It's gotta work. Making my 8-point. Yeah, I start saying some more off the wall stuff, or just kind of give them the Marshawn Lynch treatment and just don't really be giving them no answers. But either that or I'm roasting people. It'd been another reporter there about like asked me some question like, so do you feel like that the other team is better than you? I'm like, you know what you look like, sir? I'm like, you look like that big lip guy from Black Panther. The one he had like a full blown like record in his like bottom lip and was actually able to talk. I'm like, that's what you look like right now. Like, you look like 50 Cent when he did that movie that never made it to theaters, but like the actual version. It's crazy. Shaq clip. Championship. What was your like? Like, what kind of question is that? I'm like, people are weird. That's why I'm like, I wouldn't even say no stuff like that. I had just been roasting them. Appreciate the 1 bit, Pablo. But yeah, I'm like, I've definitely been saying some things. Like I said, I've been getting fined every week. They're like, oh, Mr. Moss, have you thought about trying out for another sport? I'm like, excuse me, but where's your chin? I'm like, you don't have a chin. That's weird. I'm like, it's just cheek and mouth, and I don't know how that's possible, so I'm like, you're gonna have to fix that. Then we can possibly have a conversation, but I'm sorry, only thing I'm gonna be paying attention to is your chin, or what was supposed to be a chin. I'm like, what do you call that? I'm like, what do you call a person that ain't got no chin? It's iconic. Trying to be shady and ask them how they feel placing them in the finals. This is after his team won. I'm like, yeah, it's like the team still won, so. But yeah, reporters, they're weird, so. Drink some water real quick because it is just way too hot right now and just be sitting here not drinking water. Hey, champion. Remember that? Didn't play, but I'll be able to tell my kids I started, my grandkids. There it is at the time, yeah. Yeah, there's some of those reporters where it's like they don't sit down. They don't bother to think like, oh, well, how would I react if somebody were to ask me some old off-the-wall question? Or a question that's just, you know, coming off as disrespectful. They don't sit down and try to think about stuff like that. They're all like, oh, well, how can I get a reaction out of this guy? So I think if I were to be an NBA player, I definitely would be all like, now look. If probably I wouldn't realize it until I got in there, or I don't know, but I definitely would have, like, during a contract signing, I'm like, I want that also put in the contract where if they ask me some disrespectful question, then I have a right to not answer it. Because after, I remember when Marshawn Lynch, when they were asking him off the wall questions and he was getting fined all this money for it and stuff, for how he overall wanted to respond, and I'm like, how are you gonna find this man for? They're asking him weird questions. Yeah, it's like reporters. I'm like, you're asking me a weird question, and it's like, fam, I don't want to respond to it. I don't want to answer it. What is this? I guess I'll add it, but. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not answering it, so I'm like, y'all can find me if you want, but I'm not answering it. That car is burning out. The shot clip dude told him this question was. Yeah, it's like I said, reporters, it's probably some of them that, like I said, they just only doing that for a reaction. Dang. worse in my opinion compared to football. Yeah, football, you don't really be hearing that too much. Then again, I do like with that Marshawn Lynch situation when he was getting asked all those dumb questions. They were asking him some dumb questions. Because I remember the one reporter was all like, so are you going to start answering questions correctly? And he was like, I think that was the time where he was like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Sport though, should commentate and report. Yeah, commentary. It's like I feel like they have they can say anything that they want. I like how there's a difference between the commentators and reporters. But then again, I don't know. Like them commentators don't be as disrespectful than reporters. So that's why I think it's like sometimes they can say some disrespectful things, but not all the time. Not compared to reporters. They actually hype into games be fun. People who realize how important good commentators are. Yeah, because they add more to it. Like if the commentators are not, there, I just feel like, because I remember I realized that when I went to a wrestling show, and that was like one thing that I liked was the commentary. And when the commentators, when you're not hearing them, I mean, it's like it was still fun like going to that wrestling show, but it just overall, like, it felt better when you're at home and you're hearing the commentary and all that stuff, so. Some commentators, so much energy on watch that. I know, right? Them guys score a goal. It's like, fam. Like, that is they pretty much just won the championship, and it's like a preseason game. Yeah, them soccer dudes, them commentators, they be going crazy. And like I said, it'll be like a preseason or a regular game. It's like they ain't even won no championship. I need some more water. Just hearing soccer game on the radio. Yeah, and them dudes, they still be going crazy over it, even if it is on the radio. Commentators, it's all like, that's most likely how like a lot of it's like those guys, they just be doing radio stuff, and then yeah, eventually then they just, you know, they make it to the big leagues. I wonder if I can, hold on, I need to see if I can play this on my steering wheel controller. Was that it? Hold time. I know it's like those guys, and I'm like, fam, like he just, the game just started. He just only scored 1 goal. It's like, you guys, y'all can chill. See something real quick. I think I tried playing with my steering wheel controller before, and it didn't work properly, so that's why I'm kind of like, kind of iffy about it. Let's see if it works. Hopefully it does. Imagine Flight Content Warriors game. Yeah, if he did that, I'm like, he gonna probably creep Steph Curry out. I know he creeps me out with some of the things he be saying about Steph Curry. I'm like, homie, you gotta relax. See, man, I wonder if there's a settings control. Oh, does it? Nope, don't want to do that. Live TV. That's what I'm saying. It's like he's saying things like that. It's like, bro, you ain't gotta say that, man. See, it's not saving properly. Why does it keep going back to the... This mess better work. Oh, it does. Okay, so it works. There we go. It's not, this ain't optimized all the way correctly. Yeah, this is weird. It's nothing like the one time he said Curry is a legend, enjoying basketball overseas. Perfect skin. Brown stresses so much his hairline falling off. Like, what is it? Yeah, I saw like when the times he has said things, I'm like, bruh, you gotta. I don't know what the issue is, man, but I'm like, that's just weird, bro. Like some weird stuff. But honestly, at times though, Flight, he might just be trolling. Because I've seen other people talk like that about stuff, and I'm like, at times I just be thinking they trolling. Yeah, I gotta switch back to a regular controller because that was just all the way weird. I never have blushed over another man and don't ever plan on blushing over another man. It's like sports is entertaining and all, but it ain't that entertaining. I thought this was only a one thing. Oh, I think I know what kind of event this is. Personally think Cam Newton in his prime was more inspirational. Yeah, when he was winning, but now I just don't. Like, it's my first time I have to say in a while since I've actually, like, have thought, like, dang, I wonder what Cam Newton's doing. But yeah, it was like that season when he was, they were I remember they were undefeated for a moment. I think, yeah, that was that same season they went to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Broncos. I mean, yeah, it's like he had his run, but I'm like, I don't know anymore. Maybe he gather up the same guys or guys similar to the ones he had during that time frame. Then maybe, but I think now the Super Bowl is rigged. How is it rigged? How is that Super Bowl rigged? They got there and they lost. Like. Peyton Manning to retire as a champion. He didn't retire. I'm trying to think. When did he retire? Honestly, I can't remember when he retired. I know this person is about to get spun out. These cars are crazy. It's like there's a whole car there. Like, dang, stop driving on me. That was his last season. Oh, so that's why you think it's rigged? Nah, bro. I don't care about who's if I'm a player of any sport, I don't care who's retiring. I'm trying to win. That's how competitive I am. I don't think anybody's just going to purposely let themselves lose out on the Super Bowl championship just so somebody, I'm like, he had all this time to, or when he threw out to get a championship throughout his career, and I'm like, I ain't going to all of a sudden, oh, let me have some sympathy for him now. Wants to retire. Retiring a champion. I can see, yeah, Brady doing something like that, but not no Peyton Manning. Not to say anything disrespectful about him, but I'm like, you know, he won because he won. But I highly doubt there's like the Panthers like, oh, let's let him win because he's retiring this. I ain't never heard nobody carry on like that. I'm like, you haven't made it that far. It's like, you need to accept the fact that you either gonna win or lose. I'm like, if you lose, oh well. But that's where my mindset is at. I'm there to win. I ain't there to be like, oh, let me like, oh, I'm gonna just toss away. I got years to make it to the Super Bowl again. Play till he can't play anymore. Well, he seemed like he been kind of like on and off with the retirement stuff. So I do think he wants to retire, like, if he does like make it to the Super Bowl. But I think, I don't know. If he can play until he can't play no more, then that's good, I guess. But I think that, you know, his next championship that he wins will be his last. So let's see what happens this season. He wants to play till he's not good enough to play anymore. It's like, got one more season in me type thing. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he is a good player, like, unless he has like an extremely, extremely bad season. But I highly doubt that. I think he's going to play until he gets another ring. So I think what he is going to try to do is like make sure he has like a top tier team this season, and then when he makes it to the Super Bowl, if he wins, I think that's going to be his last Super Bowl. Oh, is it only just me and this guy? It's only just me and this guy. Far back there. Has truly ever been canceled? I think some people have been canceled, but I think the ones that like they just randomly cancel, like I'm trying to think of somebody where it was like their cancellation was just not valid. I can't think of anybody right now, but I do think like there have been some like content creators where I'm like, oh no, them being canceled is like, nah, that's legit. I know people were trying to cancel me. I'm like, I just, you know, I didn't get it, but yeah, people were trying to do that with me. I'm like, you guys need some things to do. Cause I'm like, man, y'all carrying on like this. I'm like, for what? And like 90% of the time, it's always for some dumb stuff. Like there's like other, well, all right, maybe not 90. Maybe 90 is a high number. I have to say like at least like 65-70% of the time, like it's over some dumb stuff. Like there's always like that rare occasion where a person gets canceled, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's legit. And like, no, they need to get canceled. But only person I could ever think of off top truly be canceled, but like celebrity wise, I think people care for a while and they forget because the situation not new or they don't care. I feel like there are some celebrities that have been canceled where it's like it don't matter if they got if it's old. Like for an example, Bill Cosby. Like I feel like if none of that stuff wouldn't have happened with him, he probably still would have been doing movies, stand-up comedy, and all that stuff. And then Jussie Smollett. It's crazy. He didn't even get canceled by the people. He got canceled just overall by Hollywood. I feel like people didn't even care if he was going around lying about getting attacked, but he had like a Hollywood cancel. Who else? Amber Heard, she's canceled. She's 100% canceled. She got canceled soon. Day one of all that Johnny Depp stuff. Who else? So yeah, there's some celebrities out there that definitely been canceled, but content creators, it's always like up in the air. Like they'll like try to dig up some like old tweets of like a white YouTuber saying the N-word, and it's like, well, it's not like they're saying that now. But so it's like stuff like that where I'm like, oh, it's crazy, but like we didn't know that until now. So if they were saying it now, then I'm like, okay, then cancel them. But if they said that years ago and they apologizing for it now, then I'm like, y'all gotta let that go. Canceled for a while, but I see people saying now we gotta separate him, artist. Yeah, cause I don't know, like I feel like he's made some hits, but at the end of the day, people gonna still think in their head like, hey yo, this dude weird. Like I can't remember the last time I sat down and listened to any R. Kelly music. So I feel like his cancellation is legit. I don't feel like it's like people are like halfway canceling him. Like I think I hear people like dancing or see people dancing to his stuff on TikTok, and I don't think a lot of those people know that that's R. Kelly. It's like 15-year-old kids, they don't know nothing about him. So about Chris Brown, he was canceled for a while, but people don't care now. I feel like that's probably the only artist or only person I can think of that was, but he was like he was canceled during the time when like canceling people wasn't really a thing. So I feel like if that were to go down now, then yeah, he would 100% get canceled. But that happened like when he was like late teenage years or whatever and stuff, like, or early 20s. It was before he became a gang member. I know that much. I like how that man, like his 24th birthday, he became a blood just out of nowhere. Like this dude was rapping about running and stuff, and all of a sudden he became a blood. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? That separate artists from their personal life. Yeah, but I feel like even then, it's like they still I feel like Chris Brown, like I said, he got canceled during the time when canceling people wasn't really a thing. But R. Kelly, on the other hand, I don't see people messing with him like how they mess with Chris Brown. His stuff was more recent. It was during the cancellation era. Like I said, if Chris Brown would have did that stuff today, he definitely would have got canceled, regardless of his music or wherever. He still would have had fans and stuff, but it wouldn't have probably been a lot. And that happened during the time like when in his younger days. He done got older. I think he has like a kid now, so he's definitely matured over the years. But yeah, like comparing him to R. Kelly, and I'm like, that's just not a fair comparison. Like R. Kelly was out there, like, you know, peeing on 12-year-old women or girls and stuff. I mean, Chris Brown, what he did, like that was bad too. But I'm just gonna say this. I think dudes, when they do that, when they put their hands on a woman, they only be doing that to a woman that they know that she can't fight, or they know that they got size over her. Like, let's say if like Chris Brown tried doing that to a woman that's like built like Ronda Rousey, they both gonna be going to the ER with like bruises and cuts and all that stuff. Don't get recommended anymore. He still got 4.6 monthly views. Definitely not good for his standards. Yeah, because, like, and it was probably a lot higher before all of that stuff had went down, but now it's like, I think I remember when he started getting canceled, because I think I remember he was supposed to have a song out with Lady Gaga, and I remember they pulled that song. Like, he got canceled, I think, long before the cancellation era. And then when all this like case stuff started going on, and it started going on during the cancellation era, then yeah, that's when he was like, oh, people were digging up things like from back then all the way up until now. And yeah, overall, like, he it's just, there wasn't no going back. He messed up. But it's like, you gotta look at like the things that's like going on with what he did, and it's like, fam, like, you're doing that in a time and era where stuff like that it has a spotlight on it, where you out here messing around with, like, you know, like little like kids, pretty much. Like, not even pretty much. Like, you say Travis Scott was canceled. That's the thing though, like with him, I feel like he was, but I don't feel like that it was necessarily like, I don't know, I feel like people gonna come after me, but I wouldn't necessarily blame him, because there's so many different wild shows out there. I say, like, you know, overall, like, due to his like fame, his level of fame, like, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty bad situation, but I personally don't, I can't just, you know, overall, like, make it seem like blame him. I do feel like that, you know, overall the situation that had happened, it was messed up, but it ain't like he's going out there telling people, like, oh, you know, kill that person, do this, do that. Like, yeah, he is telling them to get wild and all of that, but I just think that I do blame the venue, because I'm like, they need to have more control over that stuff, like have like a limited capacity thing. Because I personally think that there's just way too many people at his show. Because, like, if you look at, like, the amount of people that are there, that's, like, festival numbers. And that's the thing, when you look at, like, festivals compared to, when you look at festivals compared to, like, his show, like, festivals, you don't see everybody in the crowd going crazy like that. Like, you see a lot of those people just standing there waiting until their favorite artist gets on stage. So, quiet for a while. Play some documentary one day. Yeah, because, like, the thing is, like, I feel like that it was because, like, people died at his show, so he felt bad. But I personally don't feel like that, because what, he just recently came out with some music. Most likely when he comes out with an album or whatever, like, it's going to, you know, do well in sales. So I personally don't think he was canceled. I feel like in his case, he got like the smallest size of a cancellation. But I don't feel like that he was like, oh, he's permanently canceled. His album was supposed to drop last year, but I'm assuming the situation is why he postponed. Didn't that situation happen this year though? Dang, that thing happened last year? It doesn't even feel like it. That's crazy. I thought it happened like in the beginning of the year or something. It's October, November. Dang. Well, at some point he gonna release, and I personally don't think it's gonna, you know, I feel like this situation is forever gonna be, you know, involved with his career, but I don't feel like it's gonna tarnish his career. I think he's still at the end of the day gonna be Travis Scott. Oh yeah, for sure. The baby is definitely, I feel like he's been canceled, but I just feel like it's because of his fans and because of him. Yeah, I just feel like it's because of his fans and because of him. They haven't accepted the fact that he's been canceled. Because the baby was getting hyped at one point in time, and I feel like that hype is gone. Like, even the people that are canceling him don't even want to believe that he's been like, no, we guys still keep going. We guys still, you know. Because I remember it wasn't too long ago, they released, like, the footage of when he shot and killed that guy in Walmart. And was trying to cancel him for the video. Because it looked like he was the one being the aggressor in the video. And then, but he tried saying, like, I guess they were trying to rob him and stuff. And so, I don't know. I don't know of that situation, but not from a fan POV, but the industry has blackballed them for sure. Well, yeah, because I feel like between, well, most likely his fan base is annoying. I feel like his fan base is the most toxic fan base out there. He got blackballed because he wanted to call out everybody. Make it seem like that he's like a king or a god of like music. And it's like, fam, you're not. Cardi, the most toxic fan. Second most toxic fan base. I'm trying to think. His fans are just, they take things too seriously. They're too serious about what they do. I feel like his fans are like, hey, you guys need to relax because it is not that serious. Like, they be out there be wanting to get, like, sacrificed in the crowd and stuff. And I'm all like, if you guys don't start acting normal. But he's a good example for, like, wild shows and stuff. I'm like, I bet if he had been on the same level... I mean, Cardi is on a big level, don't get me wrong. But I feel like if he was on a big level like Travis Scott, I do feel like that he most likely, he might end up in the same situation as Travis Scott. I feel like Cardi got some, like, a big fan base, but I don't think it's as big as Travis Scott. Called out Apple for posting Lil Durk diss towards him. Like, that's what Apple Music does, post it. Exactly. But it's like, what did he expect? It's like, fam, you gonna call out Apple, and like, you guys sit down and think of the situation. Your friend just killed Lil Durk's friend. And what does Lil Durk do? He is a rapper. What does usually rappers do when they feel angry? They start dissing people. It's like, what did he expect? It wouldn't have been no different if it had been the other way around. So, like, that's what I'm like, fam, how you gonna get on him? And it's like, your friend just killed this friend. So, like, of course he's gonna dish you guys. Just feel like Cardi fans hype him as a meme. He's good, don't get me wrong. But I don't get the hype. I guess I could kind of see that, but he just comes out with hype music. There's at times I be listening to his music, and I'm like, if I'm working out, or if I'm just sitting down, just chilling, I'm like, I can understand why people get hyped over his music. But the way that people be acting towards it, that's why I'm like, I think that there's some of his fans that take that stuff to the heart. Like, don't get me, there's probably people out there making memes out of him, but I just think that he got one of those fan base, kind of like K-pop, you know, where it's like they don't care about nothing else besides him. K-pop, now, if anybody gonna have a toxic fan base, it is K-pop. Them guys, man, I'm telling you, K-pop fans, they make you not even want to listen to the music. I still have yet to, like, listen. Only time I listen to K-pop is when they play it on commercials. But other than that, I don't be listening to K-pop. Because I'm like, no, the fans have ruined it. They've ruined that whole genre of music. It's like, it's so annoying when you go and you look up, like, oh, why is this person trending? Or why is this trending? And you just see a bunch of, like, K-pop artists dancing. And it's not even the K-pop artists. I feel like those are probably some of the most talented artists of our time, but overall it's like, no, your fans are annoying. Like, they'll do things all like, you know, like, oh, Lil Durk just dropped his deluxe album. You click on the you click on the trend, and then all of a sudden you just start seeing a bunch of people. They ain't even dancing to Durk. They out here dancing to some K-pop music, and I'm like, y'all just, man, it's like y'all go somewhere else with that. I'm like, K-pop fans, I'm like, man, I don't know how many times I've gotten into it with K-pop fans. They try that crap with me, and I'm all like, fam, I don't care about that. I do not care about that at all. And guess what? A few hours from now, I'm still not going to care about it. I'm like, K-pop fans, I'm like, you guys just, y'all want to have people listen to that music so badly, and yet people still don't. Even after seeing all those videos and all you guys are just bringing more hatred to that whole genre of music. And they don't realize that. The little definition of Black Air Force activities and how he makes music like every month. Just does that. Yeah, I guess, yeah. He was dropping a lot at one point. Get myself to hear K-pop. Yeah, K-pop ain't even like, the times I just hear it on commercials, I'm like, fam, it's exactly what it is. It's pop music. It shouldn't be getting hyped like that. I just feel like if you release pop music, like, you're gonna get hyped. Like, you look at any pop artists and stuff, like, yeah, you're gonna get some hype. But at the end of the day, it don't deserve, like, all the hype. It doesn't deserve, like, where people just going crazy over it. Drake fans annoying, too. Yeah, because Drake, he can drop, like, a bad song or a bad album, and people still gonna hype it up. Like, it usually, like, if I don't like an album, I'm like, okay, it might take me some time to listen to it and like it. But, overall, I'm like, I'm not a fan of this new album. Like I said, once I heard the song with the bed springs, I was like, I'm done. And I think that was like the second or third song. And everybody's like, oh my god, this album. It's funny how everybody was saying the album was trash when it came out. Now you got people like, oh, we gotta use this for our latest TikTok. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. I'm like, weren't y'all the same ones saying this album was trash? Like, don't say that album was trash and now all of a sudden want to hype it up. Saying Drake could make a song of snapping the whole time and it'll go Billboard. This dude, you know, he wasn't trolling. And honestly, don't get me wrong when I say this, I believe him. He just made a song with Bed Springs. You don't think he can make a song? Like, he'll obviously have to add some lyrics to it. But if he's just sitting there snapping, I'm like, no, that's not going to do anything for anybody. Unless he's, like, changing the sound of snaps, but he can snap and sing or rap to it, whatever, and it'll definitely be a Billboard song, 100%. Who did that? It was some band that did that a while ago. Like I think back in the 90s, they did like a song. It was like a acapella song. No, that's what I think it was. This song like called "If I Ever Fall in Love Again," and I think the whole song, it's like they're not. There's no beat. There's no instruments. It's just them singing and snapping. And it's a good song. It's actually better than the original. That's the funny thing about it. It's supposed to be the acoustic version or the acapella version, and it's better than the one with the beat. I'm like, that is crazy. Hey, fans be the only ones talking about album sales so much. I'm starting to see other people talking about it. Like, I've seen people, they were saying it with Kendrick. I see when they talk on album sales, it's usually when an album doesn't do so well. So, like, let's say if like Lil Pump, if he came out with an album and it only had like 5K sales, like that's when people talk about that. They'll like start putting like, oh, like L Pump or L album was weak, album wasn't even mid, it was trash, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but I feel like album sales is just like, it's like the thing we pay attention to now. Because I think this next album of his is going to be like 200K sales. I'm like, it's decent. It's good, I guess. Point at Drake. I didn't see all of that. I did not see all of that. I see people was talking on how low his album sales were compared to his own albums, but not compared to Drake. I'm like, and them are two different artists. Like, they got two different styles of music. Like, Drake, I would consider him more of a pop, like, rap singer artist. And Kendrick, he's just, he can... I'm trying to think, has Kendrick sung before? He probably has, but he's more of a rapper artist. He's rapping and telling stories and stuff. Drake, he's, he just comes out with the club music. That's why he does so well. If Kendrick wanted to come out with some club music, he probably could, too. He probably could. I don't even know who you can compare to Drake. Who could we compare Drake to? I'm trying to think. Because there ain't really a whole lot of art. Even though Drake doesn't really drop frequently. I'm trying to think. I can't really think of no other artists that's like compared to him. Like, he's a top artist, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I can't think of nobody. Then again, Drake, he is in a league of his own, so it's kind of hard to compare him to people. Not his recent work, but his overall career. I kind of see why people compare him to Drake. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Like, I think, like, the whole comparison thing, to me, I don't really be comparing artists unless they really sound the same, then okay. But if they had two different career paths, and then they just so happen to be, like, the two, like, final artists left, then yeah, I'm like, okay, you know, then they know what they're overall doing with their career, but I don't see no comparison with Drake and Kanye. Kanye is his own. Cole. Yeah, them two, but like I see it as more so as like it ain't really a comparison. I think people just want them to drop like an album or just some work together. Like both, they're extremely good at storytelling and stuff, but even then, like I just feel like that they both. I know, I am. They came out with that Black Friday where like, yeah, Kendrick was rapping on the like Tales of Two Cities or something like that. I think that was the name of that song. That beat, and then Cole was rapping on the All Right beat, and I'm like, bro, drop an album. I'm like, that's what I want. I want an album. 2015 they were gonna drop, and they never did. They never did. They dropped like, yeah, that Black Friday thing, but that was about it. And it was just a song. But at the same time, it'll probably be difficult for them to do some stuff like that because it's like they both be telling like their own story and stuff. So I think like if they were to do something like that, I'm like, fam, like I think that'd just be like it'll definitely be like a story overload. Are you serious? Nah, I ain't going out like that. Free radio hits too. Maybe. But I think them two, they had a point in time in their life where like the like club bangers is just, you know, I don't see it. And I think if they were to do an album, they just gonna do whatever they feel like doing. I don't feel like they're gonna be trying to do things to impress people. Like, they're all like, okay, it's like we got this beat, let's rap over it. Recent album, I haven't heard it. I don't really be listening to J. Cole like that. I guess like if it's a song that like blows up, and I'm like, oh okay. But yeah, it's like I think what was the last album? I think it was that KOD album. I think he done dropped like what, like 2-3 albums after that. And what's these guys doing? We talked about it enough. Yeah, because people don't really be hyping up J. Cole like that. That's the messed up part about it. It's like he's probably one of the most talented storytelling artists of our time, and he don't get the recognition that he deserves. This is coming from somebody that don't even be listening to J. Cole like that, but and it was a good album. Funny thing, people, they can say all the stuff they want to say about it. It was a good album. It's like he's probably, like I said, one of the greatest artists of our time. He just don't get the recognition that, because you can't go to the club and dance to his music. There's probably like very few songs where you can like play at the club of his. But other than that, he don't be really releasing a whole lot of club bangers. He releases music that has you sit down thinking. Like you try going to the club and start trying to dance to a song that's talking about poverty and black struggles and stuff and politics. It's all like, man, how do you dance to that? Say how songs like Photograph didn't belong, but I'm like, everything don't have to be a literal drug. Social media addiction, how people fall in love through. Exactly. No, it is. It's like, that is exactly what this world is nowadays. It's like social media. That's why I'm like, the day I have kids, I'm going to straight up tell them, I'm like, hey, look, unless you want to turn social media into a job, social media ain't all that. It's honestly like, if I wasn't doing YouTube or just overall content creating, I would not be involved in social media anymore. I definitely would have deleted all these apps and stuff a long time ago. But because I'm a content creator and it's my job, then I have no choice. But yeah, I'm like, I straight up, like, the day I have, I'm gonna tell them, I'm like, hey, it's like, enjoy your kid days, enjoy them for as long as possible, but social media ain't all that. Man, it's so scary going through that figure eight. I just know I'm gonna get hit. Watch. It's gonna probably be like on the last lap too. Dang. Check my phone real quick. I think that was all the ones I can do in this. I gotta buy 2 cars. How much money I got? 24,000. Ah, that's chill. Oh, I remember this race. So for this game to come out like so many years ago, it's still a good game to this day. Like, I remember this game came out. I think it was this, and it was Beam NG. And I think like both of these games were I think they were both in early access. I don't know. I can't remember if this was in early access. Beam NG is still in early access, but I remember when both of those games was kind of blown up, and I think I seen BeamNG first and was like, oh, that game looks fun. Ended up coming across this game and was like, okay, this game is it's better. BeamNG is good too, but I have to say this plays out a lot better. I might get that game again one of these days. Since I'm like, I have an controller. Like, there's some games that plays well with a steering wheel controller, then there's other games that just don't. Dang, what them buses doing? Then there's just other games that just don't play as good. Dang. I think I've only seen 2 school or buses that are like actual, and it's blue and yellow. Blue is like for prisoners, and then yellow, of course, being like the kids bus. I think them are the only 2 buses I've ever seen in real. No, I've seen white buses too. Dang, this is like a series of races. I think after this series, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night with this stream. There's a lot of people streaming. I'm like, I know I can raid somebody. What car is that? That's the TriStar. That car is actually solid. I like that. I gotta see what car mods they got in this game. Can see the map mods are chill, but I definitely gotta see what car mods they got. Don't flip. Okay. Bro. Okay. I'm good. But yeah, it was honestly fun playing this game. I like this. I like WRECKFEST. Even though I've beaten it already, I'm like, still, I just find myself, especially on PC, and they got mods, I'm definitely going to be playing this game a lot. This is going to probably just be a permanent game I just keep downloading. Unless, like, another game comes out, and I'll find myself playing that. But this might just be one of those games I just always end up playing. So it does not feel like it's no 62 degrees. Feels hotter than that. Feels like if I were to step away from this fan, like, bro, top, man. Oh, is that the... Oh, that's the gear shifts. Where's the brake button? Or the handbrake button? That's weird. Was that it? Yeah, WRECKFEST is solid. Can't go wrong with WRECKFEST. Alright. I'm going to call it a night. WRECKFEST will always be fun. Right, my friend Leans. Make sure y'all go follow her. Show her some love and support. Be greatly appreciated. Look like she playing Minecraft right now. So if y'all are into some Minecraft, there y'all go. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later on today. I don't know. I may stream early in the morning. I don't know for sure or not, but regardless, yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next stream. Thank you to everybody that was here. Stay tuned and peace.